San Diego FC finally find the missing piece. Club introduced new designated player Elias Achouri this week, and unlike the Chucky Lozano signing, the move was made by sporting director Tyler Heaps and coach Mikey Varas after months of scouting to make sure he fits the team's culture and style. Then, just hours later, San Diego picked up a huge 1-0 victory over FC Dallas behind Alejandro Alvarado Jr.'s first MLS goal and a game-saving defensive play from Manu Duah in stoppage time. After blowing late leads all season, San Diego FC finally finished a match. Now the question becomes, can Achouri help lead San Diego back into the playoff race? Second half of the season starts now. And we look at the way that they were able to revive themselves over the weekend, got that extra player they needed, Frank, and ended up getting a 1-0 victory.
Yeah, the club officially announced Tunisian international winger Elias Achouri as its newest designated player, and just hours later, earned a much-needed 1-0 victory over FC Dallas. So after months of late-game collapses and inconsistent play, they showed signs of San Diego FC that we remember from last year and before the start of this season. It was a very, very big weekend for San Diego FC for sure.
Which started with a very frustrating week, obviously, because they suffered a heartbreaking 1-0 loss at Colorado after conceding a goal in stoppage time, continuing a troubling trend of giving away points late in matches. But the response against FC Dallas was exactly what this club needed. Alejandro Alvarado Jr. scored his first MLS goal to give San Diego the lead. Manu Duah made a spectacular recovery block in stoppage time to preserve the victory, and it marked the club's first win since May, and more importantly, proved they can finally close out a match. They needed that in the biggest way.
Yeah, first win since May. They haven't played since about May because of the World Cup, so it's not like a big dry spell for them. But yeah, this was a huge comeback victory, and for Alvarado, a huge announce yourself moment for them. We talked about it on the show on Monday about him consistently trying to be more of a team player and be a playmaker and look for the perfect pass instead of just going out there and taking the moment for himself. He does that, takes a long shot from outside the box and rolls it on through for the one and only goal in the 50th minute of that game on Saturday night. So big moment for Alvarado. And again, it felt like a turning point for San Diego FC.
San Diego now travels to face Minnesota United, one of the Western Conference's toughest teams at home. Big question is whether San Diego FC can build on the momentum from the Dallas victory before opening a very important Leagues Cup play against Club Tijuana next week. I mean, it's only one game, but I feel like, you know, the consistencies or the trend lines and the mirroring between the Padres and San Diego FC both need a better second half. Both have shown that they can compete at a high level. Both haven't been able to finish, and both finally started to do that, but need to do it on a consistent basis. We saw that San Diego FC can be the team that you expect them to be, but can they do that more than just once a week? That's going to be the big question leading into a very tough stretch for them in the second half.
Yeah, and right now, San Diego FC currently sees themselves within striking position as far as the standings out west are concerned. They currently sit at 20 points, and the cut line is 25. That's 2 wins. Right. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The cut line sits at 23. That's 2 wins. That's an win. And you're playing the team that currently holds that cut line position, that playoff position right now in Minnesota. They're sitting 1 point behind Seattle. Houston and Dallas are 26 points. They're 5 and 6. And St. Louis City is at 25 points, and they're sitting 7th. So you're not far away. You can still make moves, and there's a lot of time left in this season. You're going to be playing a lot of games here very, very close because you had to stop for the World Cup break. But still, a playoff spot is certainly not out of the question. You look and see, they're 12th in standings. They're a win away from being a playoff team. So yes, they could be doing a lot better, but they're not far off of where they need to be.
Elias Achouri too is, a new designated player, and Chucky Lozano, obviously he's got a cult following, and they were on display over the weekend, and we mentioned this on the show. I mean, with the problems that San Diego FC has, Chucky Lozano's not fixing those problems. This is not a byproduct of not having him part of the team anymore. But which is interesting about Achouri is, you know, they signed Lozano to be that like mainstay guy, the promotion face of the franchise to get people engaged with San Diego FC. But now that they have established themselves as a team that can compete, you want to have somebody that actually fits your team and fits your style of play and fit Mikey Varas' style of play. And Achouri is one of those guys. I mean, he's not being asked to replace Lozano. He's being asked to fit the system that Mikey Varas runs. And I think this is a big move that can really benefit San Diego FC, especially if he develops chemistry with Anders Dreyer and gives that extra attacker and an extra attacking threat that this club needs so bad.
Yeah, he's a winger too, so he'll be playing alongside of Anders Dreyer and most likely will be replacing Amal Pellegrino as your as an everyday winger. And of course, you have your striker position. This allows Pellegrino to kind of be more back in that role that he was more familiar with and more comfortable with as a guy who could potentially score late in games off the bench, give Achouri and give Dreyer, more specifically, a little bit of rest, especially towards the latter stages of these games. It's never really bad to have a true third winger, a guy who can start, but a guy who might be a little bit better suited for a bench role that can still play every single day to give the other two guys some rest. So this is a huge signing for San Diego FC. The summer transfer window is open, I believe, until the end of August. So there's still plenty of time to be able to make moves and try to help better this team. And one of them that's being rumored could potentially be Mohamed Salah, who is coming over from Liverpool. Latest rumors has that he is speaking with an MLS team.
San Diego FC finally has something it hasn't had in weeks. Momentum, a new designated player on the way, young players stepping up. Club finally closed out a victory. Now they'll look to prove this wasn't just one good performance as the playoff race begins to heat up.